Hi everyone, and welcome to My Pink Bathtub. My name is Diane, and today I'm going to share with you 3 projects I recently finished that I have never made before. I am super excited because I feel like it got me to stretch some of my skills a little bit, and that's always a good thing when it comes to knitting. By the way, there are no pink bathtubs here. My Pink Bathtub is the name of my little knitting business. I sell my crafts at markets in the winter season. I only did 2 this year and I'm all done. And now is the time for selfish knitting. So let's get right into it. I have 3 projects that I have finished that I have never knit these patterns before. So the first one is a Musselburgh hat. I made this as an adult large size. I'm going to put it on me. But I would personally make myself an adult medium. And you can obviously curl it up with a much tighter fit. I made this for my dear friend, the Soup Queen. Don't know when and how I'm going to get it to her. She lives out of town and Canada Post is currently still on strike, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more later on in this episode. I knit this with needles, Nerds with Needles yarn. It's a sock yarn, so it's a wool nylon blend, and this is all I have left of it. I wanted to use the whole skein, and the only down part about this was it was 100 gram skein, but normally I think it would have been a little bit longer to roll up the cuff better because it was 370 yards in the skein, I believe, where normally you get a 400 skein yarn. But very easy pattern to do once you figure out your gauge. I did have my friend Nana Alice help me with that because I don't like really reading patterns or having to figure things out over here. So I feel comfortable with it now. I kind of know what the gauge is, which was 6.5 stitches for me for the size needles I used. And I know it's going to fit my friend because it is a little big on me and she has a bigger head. So I'm very excited. It is beautifully warm. Just when you put it into each other, this is what it basically is. It's a tube. When you stuff it into each other, just putting it on my head, I couldn't believe how warm it was. And if you curve up the brim, even warmer. So I am definitely going to make myself one in an adult medium someday. Don't know when, because I have way too many things I want to make. Way too many. It's insane. The next thing I finished, which I am very excited about, is the doggy sweater for Miss Mabel. Mabel is a family dog. She is my dog niece, if we want to get technical. And I wanted to knit her a sweater. I knit it out of this book by Debbie Bliss, Woolly Woofers. It was available on Amazon before. I will look for a link and put it below. It is the pattern that is called the Good Boy Gansey pattern. A lot of cabling. I kind of relearned a lot of skills doing this sweater, and I'm excited. I did do a gauge swatch. Look at those little arms. Like, come on. I'm hoping to see her this upcoming weekend, and if so, I will do some footage of her wearing it. Fingers crossed, paws crossed that it's going to fit her. But the length is perfect for her body. And I did do a gauge swatch, and I did change the needle size to get gauge. So there are 2 skills that I have to confess I was never good at that I feel like I've mastered now that I've done this project. One of them is picking up stitches. I feel like I've been doing it wrong all these years. I don't usually do a lot of projects where I have to pick up stitches. So For me, it was great practice. And the second one, which I think is going to change my life, is the mattress stitch. Seaming up the sides of this. I did such a good job. You can't even see where the seam is from the outside. And again, another thing that I've been doing wrong this whole time. And I just Googled how to do both of these, and then I watched some YouTube videos. I watched a few, so I don't have any specific ones to mention. But if you're ever unsure, watch YouTube. I mean, like seriously. So look at how nice this seam looks from the inside. I am just so excited to gift this to her. This was just made with Red Heart Comfort yarn. I had a giant ball. I still have a whole bunch left. I am going to throw this in the wash today and launder it, and it's going to soften up. I know it is. I'm so excited, you guys. You have no idea. So I will definitely report back when we try it on Miss Mabel. There is an accompanying pattern that I will talk to you about when we get to the whips. And the third item I have completed, and it took me 6 months because I did part of it and then I just let it sit forever, is a gift for myself. This is the gift episode. This is my gift, and it is my first pair of socks. Oh my gosh. I think I might have an addiction already. This is the vanilla sock pattern on DPNs by the Crazy Sock Lady. She has a YouTube channel. I am going to put her Ravelry pattern and a link to the tutorial for this pair of socks. I mean, I'm a pretty, I think, proficient knitter, even though I wasn't very good at picking up stitches or the mattress stitch. But I did refer to her video when I did the gusset. And like most people, I never remember how to do the Kitchener stitch until I have to do the Kitchener stitch. And I always have to revisit how to do that. On her pattern, on her paper pattern, which is I think only $2 US in Ravelry, she has timestamps of where she talks about certain processes of the sock in her YouTube video, her accompanying YouTube video. So I did partake in that. Can we talk for a minute about me possibly having a sock addiction? And I would like to thank my friend Alice from Soxy Nana Alice and my friend Milen for fostering this new addiction of mine. Had way too much coffee today. I never really understood why people were so big into knitting socks. I thought, gosh, you're going to knit one and then you got to knit a second one. But that's very similar to mittens, and I'm a mitten maker. And I always felt, I don't want to say pressured, but what's the word? Perhaps encouraged to knit socks from my Soxy friends that always knit socks. It was almost a little bit cultish, you know? It was kind of, come on, you should knit socks. Socks are so great. Why aren't you knitting socks? And I think I perhaps resisted for a long time because I was getting asked to knit socks. And then I knit a sock. It was like I was walking in a dark neighborhood one night. I walked by an alley and someone said, "Psst, kid, want to knit a pair of socks?" And I did. And it took me 6 months to knit my second sock for my first pair of socks here. And that was really just because I wanted them to line up I wanted them to line up in the worst way. And I had lots going on this year. And I just didn't feel like pulling it out the ball of yarn and trying to figure out where to match it up, which is ridiculous. But my friend Alice helped me with that. And then it really didn't take that long to do the second sock. And I'm glad I did. So I still have to launder these. I have to launder everything that I've shown you. And thank you to those who gave me some information about the Musselburgh hat, how I should block the hat. And I'm just going to launder it and lay it flat to dry. Very excited about all of these. I'm pretty sure I have a sock addiction, so much so that I have started another pair of socks. Another pair of socks. These are going to be my December socks because we are doing something in 2025 that I will get to in a little bit. And I wasn't planning to do a pair of socks because I do have some Advent knitting planned. Now, I am still waiting for my 2 Advents from 2 companies coming. And I don't know if they're going to get here before December 1st. One I actually ordered from Smash Knits specifically for my Christmas in July series that I'm going to be doing. So I'm not too concerned about that. But I did reach out to Ashley at Smash Knits because I decided to also order a holiday sock box of theirs and asked if we could package it together. Now, the holiday sock box is not expected to ship as per the listing until the last week of November. So next week, or I guess this week. Yeah, it's Monday. This week. I don't know what they're doing because of the Canada Post strike. It has put a pickle in things for many small businesses. So I will wait and see, but I am not concerned because I can just make those socks whenever. I was going to perhaps do them as a Christmas Eve cast on, but now I have been influenced to make these socks by a new podcast that I've been watching, and that is called Erndale's. And her name is Dale, and she lives in Manitoba, the same province that I do. And she was making Christmassy socks out of lichen and lace yarn, stripy socks, and I wanted to make my own version of that. So I have started them. And this, I'm using the same pattern, the vanilla sock DPN pattern, because I haven't learned any new sock making skills yet. This is what I've gotten so far. And I'm using all kinds of minis that I have. These are all actually Canadian dyers. So I have Sweet Georgia yarn, then this is Borealis yarn. This is some of my Advent yarn from Tangled Poets, Aberdeen's Wool, and some more Sweet Georgia. I have other Borealis yarn, and I have a color of my fiber yarn. And I'm going to somehow mix and match them. I'm doing, after I did the cuff, I'm doing 10 rows for each color, because you have to do 60 rows before you do the heel and gusset, which I'm planning to do with this because I have a lot of it. I'm just not 100% sure if my Sweet Georgia yarn has nylon in it. That's why I put it up higher, because it was in a mystery mini pack that I ordered this year. So I'm excited about these. They are going to be worked going into December as an extra thing to make, because I mean, I'm only going to be making a sweater and a gnome and some mini sweater ornaments. Might as well make a pair of socks as well in the mix. But you're going to find out more about my advents. I'm going to give it this week. So Thursday or Friday this week, I'm going to talk about what advents I'm doing that we're going to start in December. And I still haven't decided if I want to do a daily episode or if I want to do a every second day episode. So by then I'll have to make a decision. So this is the new cast on for me. Thank you, Dale, for influencing me on this. Dale does all kinds of crafts, but she seems to be very proficient in knitting and she does sewing as well. I think it's called Slow Stitching. So please go check out her channel. And this doggy sweater, when you go out for a walk, you need to match with your doggy. So I am making my sister-in-law a headband to go with the doggy sweater out of the same yarn. This is what I've gotten done so far. So it is a cabled pattern, the woven cable headband. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. I will link it below. Here is the name of the designer because I don't know what her name is. So yeah, this will be fun. And I'm just going to make it the same size as my head. I'll throw it in the wash with this. So these are the two projects I'll work on this week. I'll report back Thursday or Friday once I know what advents are going to be in my possession for December. So Canada Post, if you do not know, is striking right now. It's been over a week. And a lot of small businesses have had to pivot and find alternate carriers like UPS, FedEx, or Purolator to ship their product in Canada and I guess out to the US as well. And some companies have actually closed their small businesses on Etsy while the strike is happening. Now, I have been reading some articles about it, and I'm all for fair wages and everything. But just a little bit of facts for you. The last time Canada Post striked was in 2018, and the federal government did mandate them back to work, but not until 36 days into their strike. So we have really no idea how long this is going to take. They did pick a good time of year with Black Friday and holiday shopping. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. I can share with you that I did order, or Hubs bought me, an Aberdeen's Wool, the Tangled Poets holiday box for Christmas. I did receive it last year as well. And their plan was to ship it mid-November. They were waiting to find out what was going on with the strike, and they decided that they were using the carrier UPS to ship it out. So I did get my notification last week that the label was created. UPS did not pick it up for a couple of days. When the label was created, it was originally supposed to arrive at my house on this past Friday. But because they picked it up a couple days later, the arrival date changed to Tuesday, which is supposed to be tomorrow. So I thought, no big deal. Then I looked the other day and discovered that my arrival date has changed to January the 6th. Now, I'm hoping this is a mistake. Even if it arrives here on December the 6th, I'm not opening it for December. I will keep it for my Christmas in July series. And I will let you know who is opening it. I know of 2 content creators so far that are opening it that I watch. But we will talk about that more on Thursday or Friday, because by then I'm assuming we will know more. I just want to also send a quick thank you out to my friend Dude for gifting me this wonderful kitchen scale. She gifted it to me several years ago, and I never really used it. I was going to use it for postage if I was ever shipping anything out, and I never really got my act together for that. And she left a cute little note on it that basically said, well, I'll read it to you. Dude, I don't know if you have one of these or not, but I received one as a gift once. I don't use it very often, but when I do, I'm always glad I have it. It's just one of those weird little things, and it's signed Dude. Dude is not her real name, but we call each other that. And I've been using it a lot lately. I used it when I was doing my Musselburgh hat because I weighed the skein of yarn. Then once I had the crown knitted, I weighed to see how much I used. So I used 10 grams of yarn. And then I just knit it until I had around 10 or 11 grams left, because I wanted to use the whole skein. And I don't know where the little guy went, but I have a very little bit of just a couple yards of the yarn left because I wanted to use the whole thing. And then I've been using it for my Christmas sock, and I've been dividing yarn and weighing up like how much yarn, how much is in this and stuff like this that I'm finding. So thanks, dude. I would highly recommend, if you don't have a kitchen scale, get one. They're fantastic. So speaking of sock addictions, my friend Soxy Nana Alice and I are doing a Sock-a-Long in 2025. We are starting at the beginning of January, so we're just hyping it up now to get people's interests. Each month we are going to be knitting a pair of socks. We ourselves have created mystery sock boxes where we're going to pull a bag of mysterious sock yarn that we don't know what it is, and we're going to open it up and we're going to make ourselves a pair of socks each month. Now, you don't need to make it a mystery sock. You can use whatever sock yarn you have that you've been wanting to use. You can use whips. You can use any sock pattern you want. You can do it in knit or crochet. If you do a shorty pair of socks, we just ask that you do a fancy pair of socks, like something with some texture in it. Not a plain vanilla sock, because shorty socks don't take as long. And there's probably some other rules that I'm not thinking of at the moment. We are going to ask that you send us a photo either through Ravelry. We've had a Ravelry group opened up called Sock-a-Long 2025. We have like 41 members in last time I checked already. So I'm excited about this. I'm leaving the link below for you to join that. And if you're not part of Ravelry and you want to still participate, you can just email one of us your photos. I'm going to do some sort of a slideshow each month, and we will pick a winner and you'll get some sort of prize, whether it's yarn or perhaps a sock pattern or a project bag or something else like that. And if you're interested in donating a prize, please contact me at MyPinkBathtub@gmail.com. We are going to be doing this all year long. I am going to be a sock knitting fool, and I think you should be one too. But you can just do it once. You don't have to do it every month, whatever works for you. So please join our Ravelry group, and Alice's video is tomorrow. She will have much more information probably than me, because she is the note taker and the organized one of our friendship. I think that's about it for now. So I'm going to see you on Thursday or Friday to talk more about my advents that I'm going to be, fingers crossed, opening. And until next time, my friends, thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.